from the Oakwall Studios in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hello, this is Jesse Oakley III, and welcome to the Oak Zone, where we provide positive words of wisdom for you. That's right, you, the happy people. Now, from Monday through Fridays, I give a plethora of positive information on my show called The Oak Zone with Jesse Oakley III. But today is Sunday morning, and it is time for the Sunday morning chat series. And on this chat series, I interview a plethora of positive people that are making a big difference in their communities, whether they are speakers, writers, authors, yoga instructors, Bitcoin experts, organ donors, and animal rescue volunteers. You will hear from them here on the Sunday Morning Chat Series. And today we got ourselves a fantastic show. Now, many of you happy people know that I'm involved in a wonderful organization called Toastmasters International. And I've been a part of that organization for almost 20 years. 25 if you count the speechcraft. And overall, I've seen many interesting people and made lots of great friends. And today we have ourselves an awesome show because I get to interview one of those awesome Toastmaster friends that we were once region advisors together, I believe, some time ago. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome none other than the one, the only distinguished Toastmaster, Miss Natalie Palmer. Hey, Natalie, how's it going?
Hey, it's great, Jesse. Thanks so much for having me on today.
All right, it's always good to have you here. And without any further delay, let's chat.
All right.
Okay, now, could you, for people that don't know what Toastmasters is, could you explain what Toastmasters is?
Absolutely. Toastmasters is a nonprofit worldwide educational organization that gives people the opportunity to practice their speaking and leadership skills in community and corporate-based clubs all around the world. It's an amazing organization.
All right, it certainly is. Now, how did you get your start in Toastmasters?
I'm actually a second generation Toastmaster, Jesse. My dad joined Toastmasters in the late 60s as a part of his corporate club with Hewlett Packard. So I grew up with this picture of Hewlett Packard as people wearing suits. And when I was a stay at home mom, I lived in this small town in rural central Washington state here in the US. And every week in the newspaper, organizations would print what meetings they had coming up. And I would see that there was a Toastmasters Club meeting Mondays at 5:30.
Hmm.
And I said to my husband, "Oh, Toastmasters, I should go." And he said, "You should. I think you'd love it." But I was a stay-at-home mom, and so in my head, my picture of Toastmasters was people wearing business suits who had paychecks. And
Hmm.
I didn't think that there would be a role for me as a stay-at-home mom. But I was getting a little tired of conversations with people who didn't quite reach my waist level. And I wanted to sharpen the skills that I had had when I was full-time and working. And so one day, after 2 years, every Monday I would mention Toastmasters, and my husband would say, "You should go." And I'd be like, "Oh, maybe." Well, I met my husband on the front porch when he got home from work. And
Hmm.
I said, "Next week at the Toastmasters Club is having an open house." And he said, "Are you going to go?" I said, "Actually, if I leave now, I can make their meeting." He said, "Did you want to wait for the open house next week?" And I said, "No, I feel brave today. I don't know if I'm going to feel brave next week." And he handed me the car keys, and off I went. And I joined my very first club that night, April 2008.
All right, that's quite amazing. Now, when it comes to Toastmasters, everybody had their own challenges. What were some of the challenges that you experienced throughout your Toastmasters career?
I've experienced a lot of different challenges based on a lot of it had to do with where I was in my life. When I first joined Toastmasters, my mentor was a wonderful man named Rocky Hildum. And Rocky was a prolific and amazing storyteller. When I came into our Toastmasters Club, he was recovering from an extensive surgery for cancer to his mouth, tongue, and throat, and had relearned to speak. Rocky and I had some really amazing conversations about finding your voice. For Rocky, he was literally finding his voice and learning how to speak again with an entirely different sound and mechanism. But as someone who'd been a stay-at-home mom for a long time, I had to find my voice. I had to learn again, discover how to speak for myself, not as a parent, not as a spouse, not as something else, but to find my genuine and true voice, how I wanted to express myself. That was the first challenge, but I encountered new and different challenges as I moved into new areas of Toastmasters. I moved into leadership positions like secretary of the club, president of the club, area director, and eventually I found my way onto district leadership. I didn't even know what that meant when I showed up. I called my friend Lloyd, who belongs to Cascade Speakeasy Toastmasters, and I said, Lloyd, I'm going to be the as governor of something. I'm being on the trio. And I gave him the whole name. And he said, that's a 4-year commitment. And I said, they may not have told me that when they asked me if I was interested in serving, but I had no idea the challenges that was going to give to me, calling me to learn how to work with diverse groups of people, how to lead across large areas of space. I lived in a very small district, but it was five small person-wise, but it was a 6-hour drive from side to side and north to south. And this was before email was really something that everyone used. And so learning how to communicate and how to build consensus across distance was a real challenge for me that I embraced. And interestingly enough, that ability to build consensus and relationships across different distance became more important than I would have ever realized March of 2020 when my entire office had to start living remote. So it's amazing how some of those lessons that I've learned in Toastmasters have come back to serve other communities that I've been a part of.
Wow, that was quite the
Yeah.
challenge, and you reigned supreme over those type of challenges. My goodness, and that's a sign of great leadership and what you can get out of Toastmasters International is overcoming these types of challenges. And speaking of that,
Yeah.
what were some of the best moments that you had within the organization?
Uh, I've had some really good moments, personal and other. I think my greatest personal moment was in 2010. I represented District 9 as a semifinalist in the World Championship of Public Speaking in Palm Desert. And as amazing as that was, the best part, the most significant part of it all, was my dad was in the audience to watch me speak that day. I didn't place. I drew number 1 as my speaking round, and lost to an amazing speaker from the East Coast of the U.S. She was phenomenal and was amazing in the finals that weekend. But for me, being able to be a part of that full circle and have my dad sitting in the front row to watch me was amazing. And while I've had other, personal accomplishments, the most notable things for me are when I have been a part of someone else's journey, when I have seen someone come into Toastmasters who was trying to find their voice, trying to find their confidence in a new job role, in a new time in their life. When I was able to be a part of that journey, giving them encouragement, feedback, recognition, opening doors, mentoring them, and seeing them walk into new stages, whether that's a Toastmaster stage or a stage in their life where they were able to walk in with a confidence and a clarity of voice and purpose that they didn't realize they were capable of. That's been the most significant part of Toastmasters for me. My most golden moments are that quiet ones where I'm sitting at the back and able to see someone and say, look at how far they've come.
Whew, those are some amazing moments. And my goodness. As a matter of fact, speaking of Palm Desert, that was my first full convention. It was the 2010 in Palm Desert. I did go to the one in Phoenix.
Mine too.
Yeah, I did go to the one in Phoenix for to support a world championship. I was only at that one event, but the first full one was 2010 when I was Lieutenant Governor Marketing during that time period. And I didn't stay at the hotel. I stayed over down at the Motel 6 over by Indio, California. And just to drive from the Motel 6 over to the hotel and this wonderful resort, getting a chance to experience Toastmasters, that was an amazing feeling. And I could tell you that this is one journey that I'm just truly going to be a part of, especially leadership within 2010. And it's amazing that that was our first full conference together.
Yes, we didn't know. We had no idea the places you and I would go together.
Oh my goodness, it's truly fantastic. Now, let's say that you had a great Toastmasters journey. You're still having a great Toastmasters journey, and I'm still having a great Toastmasters journey. And there's someone out there that is somewhat foreign to Toastmasters, that doesn't know what Toastmasters is and just slightly heard about it and is unsure about wanting to join the organization. And if you were to tell that person who is on the fence on joining the organization, what would you say to that person?
I would say, what is it that you want to accomplish in life? What are the things make your life full and significant? Is it better relationships with the people that you love? Is it the ability to express your ideas in your workplace more clearly, in your faith community, in a volunteer organization you're a part of, in a social organization, with friends, with people whose opinions matter to you, and you want to have your thoughts heard clearly? Whatever it is, if expressing yourself and having your views heard more clearly is a goal of yours, you should come check it out. Go to a meeting, go to a couple different meetings. Find a club that suits you. Every club has a very different personality. Some have a lot of laughter and are a little softer with the time guidelines. Some are very good at starting crisply on time and ending on time and always working on those guidelines and milestones. There are so many different club styles and personalities that you can find one that's a good fit for you. I don't care if you join my club. I care that you join a club.
Yes.
And whether that's the one that I'm a part of or that's the one down the street that meets at the same time, they're a wonderful club with different people, and maybe that's a better fit for you. Maybe you work some weird hours and it's hard for you to find a traditional club at a lunchtime or right after work, or you've got small kids or parental obligations or a faith community or different things that call to your time. You can meet with clubs at this point in time anywhere in the world, anytime you want. You can find a group of people who are going to encourage you to accomplish the things that make your life meaningful.
Well said. Well
I'd say
said.
try it. Yeah.
Hey,
Thank you.
that is truly well said. Oh my goodness. You said a whole lot right there. And I'm sure that the person that is unsure about Toastmasters, that was on the fence, you may have pushed them off the fence into joining a Toastmaster club.
Even a visit. Just visit. Just come try us. We're like potato chips.
Exactly.
You can't have just one.
Exactly. Now, for people that want to know more about Toastmasters, where could they actually go to find out more about this wonderful organization?
Absolutely. Well, you can always go on the internet to toastmasters.org. The word Toastmasters with an S at the end, .org is the main website. They have lots of different information and introductory videos that you can watch, and they have the ability to find a club, so you can find one that is near you. Reach out to any one of the clubs, ask some questions, ask to attend as a guest. There's no obligation. You may be asked to speak at one of the first meetings to introduce yourself and why you came, but okay as well to say, I'd really like to just observe this first time right there. And you can also always go to YouTube. Look for Toastmasters videos. Toastmasters.org has an official, Toastmasters International has a channel with some great helpful videos on there. You'll also also see videos from the World Championship of Public Speaking. They're amazing videos to watch, but I want to let you know that's not the way that most of the clubs go. That's a specialized kind of speaking that some people really love, a highly crafted, sculpted, practiced speech that is then judged against others. Maybe that is something that you want. And that's okay if you're like, I just want to have the courage to speak up at a staff meeting, or I'm supposed to give a toast at my brother's wedding and I'm feeling nervous. Toastmasters can help anyone meet their goals, no matter what they are.
All right. And for those people that missed the information about Toastmasters.org or the website, do not fret because the links will be in the description below. That is right. Exactly, Natalie, right there below. So once this interview is over, you can go ahead and check out the Toastmasters website and Toastmasters YouTube by just clicking on the links, which are right will be right there below. Right, Natalie?
Absolutely, right below.
Exactly. Now we are almost at the end of this interview, and time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
It does, and I always have fun with you. Never long enough when we're together, Jesse.
Exactly, exactly. Now, this is just shout out time. And if you could give a shout out to the people that made this possible, who would you give a shout out to?
Hmm. Well, the person I always carry with me in spirit is Rocky Hilda, my first mentor. I have his Toastmasters pin. It has been to every conference that I've been to all around the world. So I carry him with me. I always hear him saying, find your voice. Lloyd Smith was one of my greatest friends and mentors in the Cascade Speakeasy Toastmasters, my first club and the club of my heart. So hello to Lloyd Smith and to everyone in District 9. District 9 is inland Washington State, the upper panhandle of Idaho, a little slice of Oregon, up to the Canadian border and all the way down. It's an amazing group of people who gave me confidence and helped me succeed in so many different ways. And District 26, I love you right here. I'm only about 5 miles away from Toastmasters International headquarters as the crow flies. So if you find yourself in the Denver area and you go down there, let me know. We'll meet up.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. Now, this is the last question for the interview, and it is for my people, my crew, which are called the Happy People. Let's say that the
Mhm.
happy people watch this whole video and are amazed with what you've done and all the Toastmaster journeys that you are able to do, and they want more words of wisdom. If you have a chance to offer a solid words of wisdom for the happy people, my crew, what would it be?
My advice to anyone asking for advice is remember that you have control over every situation. You can always make it worse. We call that chances dictum. That's something that my dad says. You have control over every situation. You can always make it worse. Remember that. We have choice in situation. There are things that are placed into our lives that are difficult and hard and feel like we have no control over them. And yet we have the ability to make choices about connections, about appreciation, about letting people know what they mean to us. Even when things are difficult and feel dark, we have the ability to make choices and to improve the world that we're in.
Excellent point, exclamation point. What a way to bookend this overall interview. Now, on behalf of all the happy people that from all over the world, I'd like to take this time to thank you for spending time with the Oak Zone Sunday Morning Chat Series. All right. And this concludes this episode of the Oak Zone Sunday Morning Chat Series. If you want more plethora of positivity, go to YouTube, type my name, Jesse Oakley III, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, like this video, and share this video with other happy people that you know. But once you get to my YouTube channel, click on the link called the Sunday Morning Chat Series. On this section, I interviewed past guests of positivity that are making a big difference in their community, similar to my friend Natalie, right over here. Ladies and gentlemen, I really enjoyed this interview with Natalie Palmer. And did you enjoy yourself on this interview?
I did. I always have a good time when I'm with you, Jesse. Thank you so much for the opportunity to remind people happiness makes a difference.
Exactly. And on behalf of Natalie and myself and all the happy people around, this is Jesse Oakley III speaking. Until then, you take care and remember to always have a great day. Bye.